Hi, I'm Marysol and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and I'm going to do a plan with me. And I'm going to start with Planners Anonymous Mega Bundle and quarterly refresh unboxing. I decided to start with that because there's been a lot of changes to their subscription kits and how they're doing stuff, and I wanted to show you what that looks like. So I here have their latest melody, and it is, I believe, an A5. If you look in the inside, it has some new pockets. The pen holder is on a higher place. You get the two pockets in the inside and then those vertical pockets on the side and the elastic band on the top. Now, in previous years, they've had a classic size and a B6 size. Apparently, as of right now, they're only going to be doing the A5. Now, with these quarterly refresh, I believe you're going to be getting a notebook, a creative notebook, which I got this time around. I don't think I'm going to be getting in the future. I might have to see how that goes, because in the end, the price of getting everything in the mega bundle is a lot better than if you got things individual. Now, I know that they've sometimes will include like a smaller bundle for those that don't like everything, but we'll see how that looks like in the future. With the creative kit, with the creative journal, you'll get these two scratch on pages in the back. So it's pretty cool because you can kind of customize this journal as you like with it. And then if I didn't mention it before, it is 160 GSM paper, so it's pretty thick paper, very nice. So you can do a lot of things with it. So I'm going to keep this to the side just because I wanted to show some other things that come with the kit. And the other thing that came in this mega bundle is this washi tape holder, and it's really nice. It has a lot of inspirational quotes and kind of the journey of what chapters is going to look like for Planners Anonymous. And I thought I show you this. All of this had that film that usually comes in the plastic, so it was pretty tedious to take off. I took it off camera and then brought it on so you can see. I was very careful when I was doing this one because the one that I got from Coastal Escape, I cracked it. This one seems a lot better quality than the one from Coastal Escape, because I wasn't hard on it, I wasn't rough on it, but I did crack it. So yeah, I just want to say that this is a lot better quality if you're looking for a washi tape holder. Now, as you can see, I have this card. This card is supposed to be a washi card, but Sammy created this to also kind of fit those corners, the round out corners, if you didn't have a punch. So a lot of versatility with the products that they have that you can use for one thing or another. So either whip your washi straight line or crinkled, or you can use it in the corners if you didn't have a corner punch. Now, other accessories that come, and I'm a little confused with this. I'm not sure if this comes in the quarter leaf refresh or if it will be coming in kind of like the yearly bundle, but these are some planners accessories. You get some bows, some charms, and then you get the keychain. Hold up, let me look this. Okay, so I had to look it up because, so basically you're gonna get up a setup bundle, which this one is called the New Dawn, where you'll get your dividers, the melody, the pouch, the creative notebook, and the locket base set. And this is what we were looking at before, and the washi tape holder. Then you, on the other side, will get the quarterly refresh, which will have the stickers, these pockets, the washi tape rip corner, the bows, the charms, and then there'll be a mega bundle that has everything. So it's the washi cutter. So here are the dividers, and the dividers are going to coordinate um, with the theme of each chapter. So that's what I've been seeing up to the moment, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I was a little kind of down because my dividers came a little jacked up in the packaging, but other than that, it is really nice. So, like I said, this is the first quarterly refresh sticker bundle. So, I'm going to go through with it pretty quickly. You get a lot of decorative and you get a lot of functional stuff. Well, more functional than decorative. And then with this page right here, which is nice, is that you get the um, stickers that are already clustered, so you don't have to cluster them. Um, and then you get a full sheet of box. You also get a full sheet of the swatches, and I love, like, for me, if they had more swatches, page of the swatches painting, I like that more than anything else. But then you get a more decorative kind of page that you can rip. You get these boxes, which is the theme and kind of the pelotons of the themes. And this is what's going to look like with each month. And these are some added ones. Now, I love these. I really do. I think they're great. To me, it looks more like it only goes towards chapter 1, which is loving me, and you'll see that in a minute when you see all the colors. And I wish they would have included a little bit more of variety of colors for the rest of the I guess the rest of the chapters, since this is a quarterly refresh and we won't get any more of these until the next quarter. And so they wouldn't go, or at least to me, they don't look like they go with the rest of the chapters, which is chapter 2, 3, and 4. So, like I said, this is the mega bundle, which is basically the quarterly refresh bundle and the new, like the yearly setup items bundle. So now we're going to move on with chapter 1. And I'm showing you the box because the boxes, this box you can actually use to create a file. And I wish that my box would have survived. I would have actually done a tutorial on it, but I have to wait on the next one. So Sammy came up with a storage solution, which was making these pockets for each of the subscriptions. These subscription has taken a drastic change compared to what they used to be. And I mean, I think it's all for the best. If you're with the Planner Anonymous for a while, like I have, I know that it took me a long time, a while to find out a good storage solution. And after finding a good storage solution, they now changed it and provided these pockets or pouches where you can keep your subscriptions together. So I'm showing you right here, which is the Paper Lover subscription. And the Paper Lover subscription basically comes with the die cuts, the paper acetate vellum, the stamp set, and she brought back the quote cards. So, like I said, this is the Paper Lover, so you'll get all the die cut sets, the custom storage pouch, you'll get 2 acetate, 2 vellum, the stamp set, the journaling card, and you get 10 double-sided letter paper. Now, in the old kit, yes, you had 12 because you had the standard kit and then you had the additional paper. But with this one, she's decided to add it all together and to divide it like that, which I think that's okay. I know you lose a set of paper, but gaining the journaling cards back or the quote cards, I think was a good trade off. Now, the I don't know if I mentioned this before, but they had not changed their subscription kit for the longest time. And I think that this just a change is so much better just because you're getting a lot of things that I think weren't included before, like the pouches. Like I said, for me, it was an issue to find a good storage solution to it. And once I found it, I've kept it. But there's a lot of things that I was happening with the storage solution, like for example, getting my pens in theirs in the same kit, so I didn't lose them. They're not including pens anymore in the kits, and I'm okay with that because the pens were becoming an issue to store. And so, yeah, now I have a lot of other things that I have those pouches that I use to keep all my kids together that I might have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. But other than that, I think the change is for the best. Now, here I am showing you the planner lover. And the planner lover comes with a custom storage. You get that washi card, but I think that that washi card can be decorated and become a bookmark, to be honest, because I think it's cute. Here you get the washi tape, which now they're including 4 washies, and then you get the specialty washi. For me, to be honest, I love Planners Anonymous washi. Like I do love it a lot. However, I feel like I don't need a whole all 4 of them. I think 3 was enough, just because it is their washi tape is super busy. Like there's a lot of design, it's super busy, and I don't always use it on everything. Like I have to have some like very minimal stuff to use to then decide that I want to use the washi tape. So yeah, that's, at least for me, that's kind of where I'm at with it. um Other than that, I mean, their washi is great, so I tend to use the less busy washi, the thinner washi in my planners. So here you are. So here we are looking at the sticker sheets, and she usually like adds like a 4 weeks for you to use. With this new kit, she adds another decorative set to that, which is really nice. Now, I didn't show you the notepad or the sticky notes, but that's also included with the Planner Lover subscription. So now I'm going to move on to the plan with me, as you can see right here. And I decided that I'm just going to so Chapters has a story. And with that story is basically this loving me is basically, she is moving into her own new apartment, creating, this new life for herself. And she's trying to find herself and trying to find balance. And so I decided to use the paper that has the kind of story of this character, which is Alex. Her name is Alex. And I thought that I would use pieces of her story around my pages and then decorate that, and then take section stuff, areas off to make little bits of scene of her apartment. So that's where I'm going with my pages. So I'm using my Tombow adhesive here to glue down my torn paper. However, I slowly changed to a actual glue. I used the Sig glue just because it was easier to get all the corners, and I can't get all the corners with my Tombow adhesive as much as I tried. So it was lifting off my pages. So now I'm going to take this kind of swatches, like a painting, and I'm going to add that just to add a little bit of more decor and some color to the corners. So I actually tore it from the paper because I thought it would be easier instead of kind of lifting and tearing, and try to put back that sticker page on the paper. I thought it'd be easier if I tear it from the paper and just go from there. So now I'm going to start adding my boxes, and as much as I love the PA boxes, I decided to go into some other books to grab boxes that match the theme. Now, these boxes are, I believe, from Plenty Things, like Valentine's book from last year, and the colors kind of went perfectly with the swatches. Not necessarily, it doesn't really necessarily match the whole theme, but did match the painting of the swatches. And so I decided to use the colors that match the most to that. So I will continue to add on more of the paper the around my pages. Like I said, I wanted pieces of her storyline around my pages so that I can tie in the scenes of her moving in to this new apartment by herself. Now, I usually add lines to my pages, but it's been a quite minute since I've needed any lines, so I haven't added lines for a few weeks, to be honest. And one of the weeks in like the past that I didn't film the plan with me, I will add pictures on Instagram if you want to see that. And I probably could add pictures here on YouTube so that you can see. I use the Happy Planner Miss Maker planner in big, which already had lines and check boxes, and that was pretty nice and cool for me because I've not been using my stencil to add lines like I used to. Lines were a big part of my plan with me, but not for a while. So here I am. I'm going to add a subquote, and I really love that quote. That quote says, I have survived 100% of the bad days. And I love that quote because it is so absolutely true. There are days and then there are days, right? And sometimes some are better than others, but the truth is that we will always survive those bad days. And let's be real, right? Bad days is just temporary. And so I decided, I thought that quote was just so fitting with Alex's story and kind of the theme that I'm going with this spread. Like I said, I don't always use the more busy washi from Planners Anonymous unless I'm using very minimal decor. Then I'll use the busy washi. But this washi here, the very thin washi, is kind of my go-to washi. This has a lot of phrases that I really like. And I thought that I would include it. I'm not including a whole lot of quotes on it, so I thought it would just be fitting, and it just gives a lot of encouraging phrases that I can't remember right now because I don't have my planner in front of me as I'm doing this voiceover. But here I am. I started with the scene, and I started with making this kind of living room scene of her apartment. And I'm trying to get that window straight. For some reason, it was just not straight enough for me. At least I didn't think it was straight. I'm going to add that lighting like right on top of the couch. And I was going to use the die cut. These are die cuts that I'm using, except for the window. and this vase of flower. I decided not to use the die cut and use the sticker just because the couch is a die cut and I didn't want to put die cut over die cut because it makes your pages a little bit bulky. And then when I go to write on it, it's just going, it's not going to be good. So I decided to use a combination of die cut and stickers for the decor, and that's usually kind of my go to with Planners Anonymous, and it actually worked out. So here I am. I'm now adding boxes. I'm going to add boxes on the top and on the bottom of my scene and leave it at that. Like I said, I'm not using any lines. So I'm just going to add my boxes. Now, I didn't have the sizes of the boxes that I wanted. So what I'm doing here right now is just trimming the box to what I needed to because I didn't want to have long boxes on every day. I kind of like a variety of boxes to kind of, I don't know, it looks more aesthetically pleasing when you have different boxes instead of, a full box. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm just gonna cluster this up here, and then I'm gonna add some habit trackers because this week I really want to start one, kind of monitoring when I'm reading, how much I'm reading and studying. And when March comes around, I'm going to start checking up on my spending. So now that page is basically done, and I'm going to do the same thing on this page. I'm sorry, I am a messy planner. I don't really have a big space. I've said this before. I have a really small space where I plan, and my like what you see right now is kind of the area that I need to keep everything. So I'm not, going around looking for stuff. So that's why it's a little messy. I wish I were like other planners that had a very big area and all you see are 2 pages and you don't have to see the mess. So, but this is right here, this is real life. It's messy. Planning is messy. And that is how I've always planned. And I guess I'll continue to plan until I get a bigger space. But this is what I have to work with at the moment. So everything's everywhere at an arm's reach so that I can use it when I need it. But going back to this, like I said, I'm just tearing up the paper and kind of putting it around my pages. And then I'm going to, start adding some more decorative elements. Once I got that first page done, my second page was a lot easier to create. I think the first one was kind of like my test run where kind of figuring out how I wanted it to look. But once I got it to look the way I want it, it just everything else, I kind of got on a groove, right? And then everything else started to work a lot seamlessly. I know that, and I didn't film this because I just was like, you don't need to see how long this takes. I had a lot to choose from, so therefore it made it a lot more difficult for me to actually pick what I wanted to use. But once I chose the decor that I wanted to use and what direction I was going with in my spread, everything kind of fell in place. I got in a groove and I just started like getting through decorating my pages. So I'm just trying to balance it out. I don't want it to look symmetrical, but I do want it to kind of have some type of balance. And I'm going to add a couple of more sceneries here, and on the bottom, as you can see, there's like, hanging like a curtain on the in her apartment, and I'm gonna add that ladder with the boxes and the painting. Like I said, like she's moving in, so she's getting her apartment ready. Now the curtain, for some reason I couldn't get it straight, and I kind of got tired of fussing with it. It's a little bit crooked, but not enough for me to want to pull it up again and move it around. I mean, I think that's kind of the good part of the die cuts. Like, you can move them around as long as they haven't been sitting there for a while. So if you're like placing them and quickly picking them up to move them, like, you're golden. Once they've been sitting there for a while, it's a little bit more harder to move. So now I'm going to add this other scene on the top, and it's the bathroom scene. And I kind of like the bathroom. It's kind of like getting her sin in and finding that balance. But it looked too big, and I decided to just look for a sticker that kind of reflect the proportionate sizes so it didn't look too weird. So this is what I found. I found a basket of some like bath bombs and I think some soaps. So I put that there. And then this other quote, which is my favorite: I am becoming the main character of my own story. And I thought it was just so fitting with kind of how I'm decorating my pages. So now I'm gonna add kind of the final touches to my pages. I really don't add anything else. But finishing up with the boxes, I do add some headers on a few of the boxes, which you'll see in a minute. And to those boxes, I add some stitching. And when I mean I add some stitching, I took my Muji .38 and went around it and made it look like a stitching kind of doodly effect to my pages. And I know there is kind of a lot of white space, which is not usually what I do or how I kind of plan, but at least I feel like with this theme, it was perfect, and I really like how my pages in the end turned out. I am going to then put these on the discs so you see how it looks. My planner this year has them green mint discs, so they don't really match. So I do put it in a planner that I have that has some more fitting discs, just because aesthetically it looks a lot nicer and prettier. And I took my pictures with those just to stage it. But once I move it, I'll move it into my mint disc planners, which is my main planner. So like I said, here I am adding that stitch doodly effect to my box. And at some point, you won't get to see all the stitching that I put in all the other boxes because my video kind of cuts off. I think I forgot to put it on not disturb, and so that usually is what happens. So I know it's speeded up, and then you'll see kind of the real time of me adding the stitch. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I know this is a longer video, especially since I'm doing a voiceover. I try to keep the voiceover 15 minutes or less because it's kind of hard to watch it through. But if you've watched it, thank you so much, and I'll hope to see you on the next one. Bye.